Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. You've probably heard the whispers swirling around the AFC lately. There's a lot of internal chatter about the Bills and the potential moves they might be making, big ones. And it's all centered on Josh Allen. Yeah, the same Josh Allen who's been a cornerstone for Buffalo, a dual-threat quarterback with a rocket arm and a playmaking instinct that's made him one of the most exciting players in the league. But that's where things get interesting. Reports suggest that the Bills, sitting at 8-5 in 2025, are eyeing a significant rebuild, and that could mean parting ways with Allen. And if that happens, the Washington Commanders should be paying close attention. Because according to insiders, there's a real possibility that Buffalo might trade Allen to the Commanders in exchange for a first-round pick and an elite edge rusher. That's a game-changer, folks, and it could reshape the entire NFC East. Why would the Bills consider such a move? Well, for starters, their salary cap situation is pretty tight, about $18 million in cap space, which isn't a lot to work with when you have a roster riddled with injuries and underperforming units. Buffalo's offensive line has faced serious issues, allowing a hefty 42 sacks so far this season, ranking them 20th in DVOA defense. Their Super Bowl odds, sitting at plus 900, reflect a team that's still trying to find its identity, especially with a roster that's been battered by injuries. The Bills are also looking ahead, realizing that at 29, trading Allen now could prevent them from owing him a massive $45 million in 2026. And instead, they could focus on building through the draft, targeting a young quarterback like the Bears did with Justin Fields or the Panthers with Bryce Young. And here's the kicker. Allen's profile is exactly what the Commanders need right now. The guy is a true gunslinger, standing tall at 6'5", with a mix of athleticism and arm talent that's rare in today's league. In 2025, he's already thrown for over 150 yards with an impressive 1 yards per attempt, completing 23 touchdowns and tossing only 11 interceptions in 13 games. His QBR sits at 64. And his passer rating is 101. What really stands out is his rushing ability. He's racked up 480 yards on the ground and scored 7 rushing touchdowns, making him a true dual-threat quarterback. His rushing grade on PFF is a stellar 95, which ranks him first among quarterbacks. Over his career, Allen has accumulated more than 29 total yards and over 210 touchdowns, with only 82 interceptions, which is impressive considering the volume of his production. Despite a minor ankle sprain in Week 9, he played 97% of the snaps, showing resilience and durability. His EPA per dropback is in the top 8 league-wide, and he's also managed to force over 300 yards after the catch, highlighting his ability to extend plays and turn broken plays into big gains. Now the question is, why would the Bills want to trade such a dynamic player? Well, their current struggles, especially with injuries on the offensive line and their defensive ranking, make a rebuild look inevitable. They're sitting at 8-5 but are facing tough odds, plus 900 to win the Super Bowl, and their chances of making a deep playoff run seem uncertain with their current roster. Plus, trading Allen at 29 allows Buffalo to acquire draft capital that can be used to build around a young QB, similar to what other teams have done when trying to maximize their rebuilds. The move would free up significant cap space, about $32 million, to bolster other areas like their secondary or pass rush, which are clearly needs right now. For the Commanders, the implications are huge. Imagine adding a talent like Allen to a team that's been struggling to find consistency at quarterback. Washington is currently 6-7 and in the middle of a rebuild, but a move like this could turbocharge their offense. Allen's presence would inject a new level of explosiveness, especially downfield. In 2025, he's already shown the ability to hit deep throws at a 48% completion rate, and with Terry McLaurin's 850 yards and 7 touchdowns, the Commanders could see a serious boost in their passing game, potentially adding over 220 yards per game through the air. Their offensive line, which has been recovering from a series of concussion issues, now grades out at about 70. 0 on PFF, enough to support Allen's scrambles and pocket mobility. He's the kind of player who can elevate the entire team, and his leadership qualities could be exactly what Washington needs to finally take that next step into consistent playoff contention. On the defensive side, the Commanders have been solid, giving up around 21 points per game. That's decent, but they need more consistency to become true playoff contenders. Adding Allen could help balance things out by making their offense more explosive and less predictable. The team's current third-down conversion rate is around 52%, but with Allen's ability to extend plays and hit those tough throws, that number could jump to around 70%. The projected improvements in red zone efficiency, moving from 52% to roughly 70%, would be a massive boost. Plus, with a YAC, yards after catch, increase of about 350 yards, the Commanders' offense could become one of the most potent in the league, similar to how Joe Burrow's Bengals saw a big boost in 2025, with an extra 250 yards on offense. These upgrades could turn the Commanders into a team that not only makes the playoffs, but has a real shot at a deep playoff run. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. If Washington manages to pull off a trade for Allen, it would be a statement move. It's about reinvention, about showing the league that the Commanders are serious contenders now. Allen's track record of winning at a high level, with an 82% win rate in his career, combined with his ability to perform in cold weather. His win rate in snow and freezing conditions is especially notable, makes him an X-factor in playoff situations. His postseason EPA is around plus 0.20, which is solid and indicates he's capable of elevating his team when it matters most. The potential for a deep playoff push, or even a Super Bowl run, skyrockets with a player of Allen's caliber. Think about how this move could shake up the AFC and NFC landscapes, and how it might influence the Commanders' future plans. Of course, such a trade wouldn't come cheap or without risk. Buffalo's asking price would likely be a first-round pick plus a high-caliber edge rusher, which the Commanders could certainly assemble, especially with the recent draft capital they've accumulated. It would also require some maneuvering under the salary cap, but given the potential upside, it's a move worth considering. The Chiefs, for example, have shown how a big trade at quarterback can transform a team's fortunes, and Washington could be the next to follow suit. Looking ahead, if the Commanders manage to land Allen, it would redefine their entire trajectory. The Super Bowl odds could jump from plus 2,500 all the way down to plus 950, making them serious contenders in the NFC. Allen's ability to perform in cold weather, combined with his clutch performance in high-pressure situations, makes him especially valuable in the playoffs. His postseason win rate of 82% and a career EPA of plus 0.20 suggest he's not just a regular season hero, but also someone who can elevate his team when the stakes are highest. This kind of move would also send a loud message across the league. Washington is here to compete and is willing to make bold moves to get there. It's a statement that they're not just building for the future, they're building to win now. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you think it's the move that could finally push Washington over the edge and into Super Bowl contention? Would you be excited to see Allen leading the team next season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the future of this franchise. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This team is on the brink of something big, and with a move like this, the future looks incredibly promising.